Oh, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ruby Rose has now come out and explained how the pandemic played a role in her decision to leave Batwoman. Very interesting article. This is on Entertainment Weekly. Fairly certain, quite exclusively, who tends to talk to Ruby Rose and things like that. But I've been covering this, so I thought I'd cover it once more. Let's take a look and see what she's got to say for herself. It is an interview, so it'll be interesting, right? If you didn't know, Ruby Rose has left the role of Batwoman. She's been replaced by a character called Ryan, who is, again, a woman, a member of the LGBTQ plus community. Massive coincidence, I guess, that anyone who dons the Batsuit is, you know, a member of that community. But hey, whatever, I don't make the rules. That's CW for you, even if it's narrative trash. So, let's dive into it. So, like many people during the coronavirus pandemic, Ruby Rose took time to do some introspection. And after mulling things over, she decided that there were several reasons for her to depart her lead role on CW's Batwoman. Interesting that she's blaming the pandemic for that, but okay. So, when the actress announced she was opting out of a second season in mid-May, she said that she hadn't come to the decision lightly, but did not go into detail about the reasoning behind her exit. Now, Rose tells EW exclusively, so yeah, they do have the exclusive on Ruby Rose for some weird reason, about the challenges she faced on Batwoman, including needing back surgery following an on-set accident in 2019. And she also reiterated that she's proud of the series and how it added to the conversation about the importance of LGBTQ representation on TV. Now, if you didn't know, it's not only that weird back situation that she had, which is tragic, that's awful, no one should go through that, but there was also a production assistant that was left paralysed on the set of Batwoman in a completely separate incident. They're just shit show, basically. They're not on the ball at all. I'm really surprised that the production hasn't actually been shut down. I know they're under investigation, but I am genuinely surprised they haven't been shut down. I'm sure most people would agree that's quite staggering incidents to happen. But anyway, she says being the lead of a superhero show is tough. Being the lead in anything is tough. Now, Rose, who didn't discover the full extent of her injuries until shooting the film The Doorman, tells EW, but I think, in that particular instance, it was a lot more difficult because I was still recovering from my surgery. I had my surgery, and then 10 days later I went to work, which maybe wasn't the best idea. No, definitely wasn't. At all. Most people take a month or 3 off before they return to work, so it was definitely made more difficult by that. But as far as being a lead of a show or a film, regardless if it's action or if it's emotional, in whichever way, it's taxing. Well, yeah, but that's your, what? You're an actor, it's your job. Come on. I know it's tough being an actor. You know, you got people to wipe your ass for you, go get your coffees and stuff, but come on, buckle up, alright? Buckle up. Shocking. Anyway, so she continued further. But the whole thing just worries me, and it's first world problems. The challenges sort of outweighed, she adds, the accomplishment and the trust that people put in you to do that role, and then there's also the vibrancy of being able to come on set and set the mood and the tone, and the trust being put into it is something that's such an honour. God, could you imagine her setting the tone of being on set? Christ alive, that wouldn't be good, would it? Could you imagine, just moody? She looked like angry Justin Bieber half the time. Or Bieber, whatever fucking goddamn name is. Unbelievable. I'm proud of myself for... so she continues further. I'm so grateful that we got to achieve everything that we did, and I'm proud of everyone that worked on it. I'm proud of myself for working under sort of interesting circumstances. You know, with the recovery and all. I would definitely do TV again. Probably never going to get hired again, but whatever. Well, she probably will, actually, because she fails up in life, but whatever. I just think that it was also time for me to take a break to fully heal and then return. Return to what? You've just given up the role, you douche. It wasn't so much the injury, especially because after we wrapped up, we didn't get to finish the real finale because of COVID, she says. You know, you have time in quarantine and sort of isolation to just think about a lot of different things and what you want to achieve in life and what you want to do. I think for both me and the producers, it was a great opportunity to have a dialogue about a lot of things. I respect them so much, and they've been so respectful to me. It does sound like she's been given the boot, doesn't it? Especially when she's like, I get to set the tone on set. Doesn't that just sound like... It definitely sounds like she's been given the boot. Correct me if I'm wrong. It really... Oh, I'm blurry. It does sound like she's been given the boot, doesn't it? So it continues further, right? I think it was actually a beautiful way to do something. Especially since that was the first time it's ever been done. This is where she's tooting her own horn. The first time Batwoman has ever been played in live action, and that she was LGBTQ. I'm very honoured to have been able to play her. Okay, whatever. And as far as any advice she may have for Javicia, I cannot pronounce that name, Javicia Leslie, who will portray the next Batwoman, Ryan Wilder, who lives in a van down by the river with a pet plant. Rose says she has no doubt Leslie has this down pat. So she says, I've got no advice. I don't think anyone's going to want advice from you. I think she definitely knows what she's doing, and she seems fantastic. I think that, honestly, I was so proud and so happy when I was told who would be replacing me. I'm just really stoked, and I'm definitely going to watch the next season as well and see how it all comes together. Of course you are! Now, if you didn't know, this is who is replacing Batwoman, although it's weird and formatted differently. So Batwoman finds its new replacement in Javicia Leslie. Yeah, fine. I mean, the thing is, so she came out and said, look, I'm extremely proud to be the first black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television, and as a bisexual woman, I am honoured to join this groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ plus community. You wouldn't really want that on your resume, would you? That's your groundbreaking thing, is it? That's what's so groundbreaking for that community. That's terrible. It's an awful series. But there you go. To me, look, take a big step back and start to analyse, right? Like, Ruby Rose explains how the pandemic played a role in her decision to leave Batwoman. It definitely doesn't. It sounds an awful lot like, you know, they've been having discussions for a while. She's then come to the pandemic. They finished filming, and they obviously were forced to take a hiatus. And they said, look, do you wanna come back? Because very rarely, and this is important to note, very rarely can people in these roles leave the roles without breaking contract clauses. And I think basically there was a mutual clause breaking here. I think they said, hey, look, we'd like you to leave. And Ruby Rose was, yeah, I'd like to leave as well. Or they said, we think you'd like to go. Would you like to go? Yeah, no worries. You go off scot-free. You know, and I do find it, I think this whole argument of actors, goddamn. Some actors are great, but some actors, Jesus Christ. There's just no initiative there. There's no, I've worked a hard day's life, you know? I used to do 14-hour working days. I used to do 12-hour night shifts. Like, I've worked really, really hard in my life. And this person is mouthing off about how apparently it's tough being a lead in a show. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously. But I'm sure you're still probably not doing 8-9 hours every single day, you know, full on, are you? And if you are, you're still probably getting tens of thousands of dollars, and you're getting months off to contemplate your life and your existence and how good things are. So I'm one of these people that genuinely finds this stuff somewhat offensive, having worked really hard days. And I'm not like offended, but it does make me step back and go, well, I appreciate having worked hard in my life, because I know what a hard day's... I've worked on building sites and stuff. I know what a hard day's work is. Whereas this idiot clearly doesn't. You know, and absolutely, she's completely right. She should never have gone back 10 days after a surgery. What an idiot. But also, doctors are stupid. They should have advised her not to. Because, you know, having back surgery, I can't imagine you were bang up for that. But anyway, I've been covering this extensively, so I thought I'd cover it again. What do you think? Let me know down below. Batwoman being replaced. it's going to be interesting. I will be reviewing those because, hey, look, I've got to tune in. I tuned out towards the end because I'd fallen way too far behind. But I'll stay up to date on the new one, I promise. Maybe. Anyway, please do give this video a like and a share. I've been Mr. H. Take care.